How we doing? Welcome to another show. Today's going to be a good one as well. Something that needs addressing. A lot of people's advertising doesn't work, and then what they end up doing, you might be in this category. They end up blaming paid advertising um, for it not actually working. So today, I'm going to show you a few things, as it says in the description. We're going to be talking about your market, your message, and the media. And what I mean by that is who is your market and why you need to pick the right market, what message you need to speak to those people, and then what media platform you want to use. Now, this also determines, obviously, this is determined on what products that you might be selling as well. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to debunk all the rubbish about paid advertising not working. I've got all the stats on this, like from Statista, about what platforms are what, how much money is being spent on advertising, what platforms are um, having the money spent most on how many products and B2B business to business companies are generating their business through paid advertising and using social media. I'm just going to give you a quick example of something. Let's take this here. So, this is a great little example, all right, about how times have changed from what I call the TV industrial complex. Now, how the TV industrial complex used to work was they'd make products would be made, they'd spend the money on TV advertising. Because it's been on TV, it was assumed that it was good and it was a good product, and because it's on TV, it should be bought, or it sort of qualifies it. And then they would sell the products, make profit, spend more on advertising. So obviously that's changed a lot now. Same with media and print. Obviously, I've just held this up. This is my local town where I live in Sandwich is little magazine. Now, the reason I say this, if you pick up the free ads, the Wall Street Journal, you might read anything like that. Um, Barron's, any publication that's got advertisements in. Just look now or think now. Can you remember any of the companies or any of the products that were being advertised? Probably not. Not many people will, if any. I'll put my life on that. Also, if you'd read it, gone through it, so you read the morning papers or whatever, and then we muddled all the logos up, you wouldn't remember what one goes with what. And this is my point. I mean, there's a company, and I'm actually gonna contact this company because I can make a better advertisement than this. I believe. I believe I can help them. I'd like to know how much that's converting. But you know, I'd like to see. Well, I know that the conversion rates with these aren't very good. Media is changing, and this is why. And I'm going to give you this today with the stats on this, which are official ones. Some from 2024 now to date, and some from 2023. And those are all good stats. What people don't like to admit is, unfortunately, they're not very good at advertising, selling, writing sales copy, and actually making systems that actually bring people in, build trust and authority, and then ultimately show that you can solve the person's problem, which then gets the person to buy your product or inquire about your service. And you're not going to be good at it if you've not studied sales or been in sales or marketing or sold a product. You're not going to be good at it if you've not studied human psychology, about how the brain works, about how to generate emotions and different cognitive biases that go on within the human body. You're not going to be as good at it as what someone that has studied in these fields is. um, some people call it manipulation. I don't call it that at all. It's just knowing about how the humans work, how we process information, and then how we act upon it. And really just talking to people in a way, in a conversational style that's genuine, and actually speaking to the right person and having something that's actually going to help them. Sales gets such a horrible name, or it used to do, about, oh, yeah, you got the gift of the gab and you'll sell anything to anyone. That's just typically not what a proper salesman is. An amateur is like that, and they don't care about their product or what they're doing for someone else. That's a poor salesman, all right, or a poor or marketing. And one of the things as well, just to touch on, what people don't tend to do is, or what people forget is the marketing generates the sales conversation, then the sales team generate the sale. So they're two different things. What people tend to try and do in their marketing, they're trying to sell in the advert. Okay. Depending on what it is, don't get me wrong, if you've got a smaller item, it's fine. But people try, especially on social media, which is why the message is important and why you have to do certain things a certain way. Now, let me move that up there. No, it's not that one. It's this one. There we go. So I'm actually going to go for a little training with you today. This is going to go. This is the only time this is going live without someone having to put in their details for me to collect them, because I'm doing it on a live and it's Tuesday. And I'm sure whoever watches my lives, you're impressed because I'm doing these regular again now. And I promise you, in 20 minutes, you're going to have a really good understanding on how this works. I'm just going to make sure that it is gone public on here because sometimes it doesn't. Yeah, that's fine. Cool. Right. So, market, message, media. These are the three important things. It's like a triangle. Okay. And the reason that the way that this works is like this: you've got a product or a service, so you need to pick the market, which is the people that you want to talk to. Okay, and then you need to craft your message for those people, and then you need to pick the media platform that they're actually on for those people. And you're going to see through this training or this live video the different platforms and the different age groups at the minute that are performing well in different ways. So you're going to get some good information for your business for this, and it's going to it is going to help you. But please, just forget about this myth. Some people don't like taking responsibility for their actions, and you know, if your marketing's bad, it's bad. It's not a problem. You just need to reach out and go and either learn how to improve it or do what I do. If I don't quite know how to do something, I go and pay someone and then they teach me how to do it, or I just pay someone to do it within the business. So, because we're not all good at everything, this is just impossible. So, moving along, okay, hopefully you can see that. So, I'm just going to go over the different platforms and the demographics at the moment. So, if you get that, even I can't see that. Oh, yes, I can. So, at the top there, you've got Instagram. So, 32% of users are 18 to 24 years old, 30.6% are 25 to 34 years old, and 16% are 35 to 44 years old. Now, this is quite important. The reason that it's important to look at the age brackets if you're selling a certain product is because different age demographics are wealthier. They think different. They've been in the working. And it's not because it's not a dig at younger people. It's just someone that's lived longer. It's just maths. Should, if they've not done anything silly, have accumulated a lot more wealth. They're in a different part of their life. They've got more disposable income. Okay, they're people because you want in your market. You want people. You don't want to be talking to people that haven't got any money to buy it because you're just wasting your time. Snapchat, as you can see on there, 65% of Americans are 18 to 29, 30% of Americans age 30 to 49, and so on. YouTube, 93% of 18 to 29-year-olds use YouTube. 92% of 30 to 49-year-olds use YouTube, and YouTube is also popular with 50 to 64-year-olds. So YouTube's quite a broad. It's one of the. I'm sure YouTube is the top streaming platform out of everything. So that's Netflix, the lot, ITV, anything that you get Freeview. YouTube's very good for that. So you've got a broad horizon of people across there. Facebook is popular with the older demographics now, which I'm classed in, I guess, with 72% of users aged between 50 and 64. Now, why is that an important stat for me? It's because most people that I'm targeting with a lot of the stuff that I do, I'm targeting directors and CEOs, and I'm trying to target people that maybe have a certain educational background, people that can, the decision makers. Now, if you do a stat, I don't know what it is, but I don't know what the age range is between directors and CEOs. What that is, you'll probably find that it's up the older the older generation are more of those people and the decision makers. Okay. Also, if I'm targeting people with anything, Facebook's pretty good at generating income and money in sales in products. LinkedIn, I use LinkedIn a little bit. You can see you've got a lot of more professional on there. You have to talk a little bit different on there, so your message is different. And then you've got X or Twitter, Pinterest, etc. Go and get some of these stats. You can just search them. It's quite. If I was doing a marketing campaign, and before I'd even started, I'd be going to see what the product or the service, where those people are, what their age bracket is, what they're reading, places they're visiting, and then I'd be able to go and put that back onto the platforms that they're using. So I could then be spending the advertising money better, and you're going to get a better return on your ad spend. I mean, some people that are watching this now probably haven't even ever thought of doing this straight away. In fact, I know they haven't because they're already telling me paid advertising doesn't work. Yes, it does. I've been in business a very long time, and we do a lot in rev shares. So I'd be out of business if paid advertising didn't work. And we've been going since on and off, well, unofficially since 2010, officially since 2015. So it definitely works. And these are going to change over time. So on here, the most used social media platforms among internet users. This is in Great Britain. Obviously, most people that are watching this are going to be in Great Britain. And this is in June 2024. I mean, you've only got to go and have a look. You've got YouTube from the younger generation up the top there. Well, sorry, second from the bottom. You can see the different age brackets in that. But if you go up one and you're looking at the red, the black, so the 25 to 65 plus on Facebook are probably, if you was only going to use one platform, sorry, I can't really say that. That you can just do the maths depending on what your product is. But the thing is, you could pick one or two different platforms like Instagram. Obviously, is running in third there. Obviously, it's a bit younger demographic, but you've still got the 25 to 64, that big bracket in the middle with people, if you call them the middle class, if you like, that are going to have disposable income. And again, it's all dependent on what your product is. And these stats, these are all this year, and this is in Britain. So this is important. One thing I always say to people is words talk, numbers scream. And I got that from Tom Ellison from the BizDoc on the PBD podcast. So I would always go and look at data. I wouldn't just guess. Guessing's for amateurs. And you spend a little bit of time on the front end doing this research, and you're going to get much more return. So I'm going to give you an example. Right, I work for a lot of clinics. So their demographic, that if I was looking at them, I'd be like, right, I want to use Facebook and I want to use YouTube. That's what I'd be using straight away if I had to pick two, because the demographic that I want for doing, if you like, cosmetic surgery, and so they want cosmetic surgery, they want to look better. And I know all the demographics of females and males want to look better, but I'm looking for specific ones. I don't need to make a lot of sales. I just need to hit the right customers. So I want people that are probably divorced, right? Divorced women over the age of 40 that have got disposable income. Now, the reason that I've said this is because women do outlive men. That's a stat. Okay, so when they live, and I'm not saying that women don't build businesses and companies, but statistics show women outlive their husbands, and then they inherit whatever their husbands have built. Okay, or vice versa, it goes the other way. If the husband dies, if the woman dies, then the male will do the same thing. But generally speaking, women outlive men. So I know they want to look good. They're in a second part of their life, if you like, because now they're not married anymore. They've got disposable income. They want to look good. They're getting past 45, 50 years of age. And the aging process starts creeping up on us. So that's the type of demographic I'd be looking for. On the surface level, that is. I would go a lot deeper than that, and looking at magazines that they would read, TV shows that they watch, uh, restaurants that they visit, because all this targeting can be used within the Facebook Ads Manager. All right. So this is in Britain at the minute. Next slide. So what products are sold and the power of social media. So there's a few different dates on here. You can go and I just wanted to use this as an example. When people say social media isn't working, then please tell me what other media platform does. Because there's massive amounts and massive chunks of business being done on these platforms. And I mean, just look in 2023, in April, whatever you call it, um, a top purchase category, which is on social media, it's got 25% of respondents purchasing in 2023. That's a lot. That's a quarter. Beauty products, 2023, 19.4. Again, that you're around that area. Tech is quite low. Is the lowest one, I think, when I looked on there. Video games is a top one, so 44% of purchases. Toys and hobbies, 29. Jewelry, 26. It's all within around a quarter of the people making the purchases within the sector are on these platforms buying. One of the reasons that Facebook's popular is because it's been around a long time and it's trusted. So this is another thing that I would go and research is the demographics most trusted platforms that they're transacting on. And you can do this in the targeting. So that's quite important. Again, there's another tip that you probably haven't thought about. So at the bottom, you see social media is becoming an increasingly popular way to purchase products. And 76 of consumers buying something will buy something they saw on social media. 76%. That's a lot. That's three quarters of the people that see buy. So if you can get more eyeballs on your product, okay, you're going to have more chance of that. And this is the cheapest medium to do it. I mean, advertising's so cheap now. What percentage of companies are using social media to generate business? So the reason that I'm hammering this home is because I hear all the time, "Oh, I don't use paid advertising. I don't do this. I don't do that." Well, let me tell you, if you've built up a great organic system and you're not feeding it with steroids, with paid advertising, you're going to lose to someone that does, that's done the same as you. If you combine the two, you're going to be in such a good position. So just looking at the top there, social media is popular marketing tactics for B2B businesses with many stats indicating its effectiveness. So B2B marketers, 83 to 90% of B2B marketers use social media to reach audiences and influence buyers. B2B buyers, 75% of buyers use social media, and 84% of B2B decision makers use it during the decision making process. Now, that is a very important stat, and that is what I was going on about if I'm trying to target directors and CEOs. They might not all engage on social media, but they'll watch. It's the 80-20 rule. And again, you need to be looking at these statistics and then putting this into your marketing campaigns before you're structuring them and before you're delivering them. I've worked for a couple of big marketing companies, and I've gone in and I've had to go and adjust their ad campaigns, and they're absolutely shocking. And then I've got pushback from executives within their department because they've been to school or some university. Not saying that university is bad or school's bad, learning fees, but it's who and what you're learning from and how you're learning it. Most of my learning in this has been through actually getting in the ground and actually selling products and testing. So it's done by experience, which you can't buy in school. And basically, the decision makers, basically, I'm getting pushback because they're doing too much direct marketing. You can have direct marketing, but their sales copy is not persuasive. They're not really standing out. They're not what Seth Godin would call the purple cow of the industry, and it's just boring advertisements trying to get direct contact, not speaking to the person in a conversational way because we all like to be too corporate. These corporate people, by the way, are humans like me and you. And when they go to the pub at night or when they're socializing, they're not talking like robots with massive words. It's different if you're, if you're, you're talking in the medical industry or something like that. I get it. And you need to have language that actually sounds like you know what you're talking about. But when you're talking to someone, you don't need buzzwords and all these words all scripted up so you're trying to make yourself look impressive because your customers, whatever it is you're selling, they're not experts in your industry, and you need to be able to communicate your message to your market via the media in a way that they can understand it fast. So again, that's very important there, what I've just said. So revenue generation, we're just going to finish off this slide because it's probably the most important slide, because most of you, if you've got businesses, some of you are trying to generate leads and stuff for your business to business, so you're talking to businesses. A survey found that social media was most effective B2B channel for driving revenue in 2023. So all across the platforms, you would look at the demographics. Obviously, I've shown you some of this. So Facebook being a good one. Okay, you've got this stat here, and you've got this stat here, and what I've shown you. Okay, it's forcing your hand to go down that road. Social media is the top paid content distribution channel for B2B marketers. Younger marketers are more likely to use social media for advertising and are more likely to use video marketing and influencer marketing. Um, that's boxed sort of in a box. There's different top sectors within what that sentence is saying. So some top tips for B2B social media marketing include create short, reliable content. Yeah, we know that. Use live streaming to bring back social aspects of business. So that's why I do a lot of these lives. So you can actually see I'm not hiding behind images. This is me. I talk the way I talk and I am the way I am. Like it or don't like it, really makes no issue to me. But as long as you're taking something from what I'm saying, and that's all that I ask really. And that's why I try and put this out there, this content, like I do, to be able to help people like yourself that are running businesses. If you don't own a business, you don't need to listen to me, do you? So that's the way it is. You won't hurt my feelings. Don't worry. So, what platforms perform best for selling products and services? So, again, I'm hammering home this because I ain't making these stats up. This is in 2023. 2024 is going to be the same or more. It's not going backwards. Okay, so you've got Facebook at the top there. I think that is 20.6% of social commerce platforms. So that they're doing the most. Instagram's next, and then YouTube. So again, TikTok as well. I don't use TikTok a lot because the people that I normally target aren't on TikTok. Well, I don't think they are anyway. Most CEOs, directors, decision makers, financial people haven't got time to be doing silly TikTok videos and acting like that, So I'm not saying it doesn't work, and I'm not saying that no one, I'm not saying that they're not. Maybe I'm missing a buck, but what I do and how I attack our campaigns normally works. And until it doesn't, I won't look at anything along those lines. And as you can see from the numbers, um, you know, as you can see from these numbers on the screen, you can see that the ones that I use is YouTube, Instagram, Facebook for the demographics that I want, and that all lines up with the amount of business that's done on those platforms. Now, if I was guessing, a lot of people say, "Oh, TikTok, TikTok, TikTok." Now, lots of people that I'm trying to contact probably don't trust TikTok to transact on, especially when you're talking 2 grand, 5 grand plus. I'm not actually selling that. That's not what I'm trying to sell. I'm trying to generate the call to be able to get them on the phone to sell that product for that amount, if you understand what I mean. Okay. Paid advertising. So just to be clear, this is I've got this as well. Again, I get hammered for this. Some of my mates have got massive Facebook accounts. They don't use paid advertising, which is fine, and they've built their platforms back in the day. They've got massive amounts of organic following. Okay, but if you added paid advertising to it correctly, I don't mean just willy nilly. Like have a clear cut system with paid advertising, and I would bet against actual generated revenue if I went up against someone that's got a big platform with all of their followers and getting all their likes, and then I went and created a campaign that was actually a strategy to sell and generate revenue within that. I reckon I'd beat that because they can't directly link the actions of their audience to what's generating the money, and I can. So then if you can't track it, you can't optimize it, and you can't grow it or scale it, another buzzword, I suppose, to grow it because you haven't got the data. You're just looking at likes, follows, views. I mean, try and pay your bills with your views. It doesn't happen. I mean, I couldn't pay my lifestyle with all the views that I get or I don't get. But what you can do, which is what I'm going to show you in a few slides, is create content that can generate views, and then you can then become become the authority in your area, and then you've got the next lot of ads that are targeting these people with your market, your message, and your media, and then you can then convert those people. Okay, so paid social media advertising is a more effective way to reach a large number of consumers than organic social media. Fact. Organic social media is free, but it can take time and experience to do it effectively. Only a small percentage of followers will see organic posts. Now, a big thing to think about, again, I'm going to get pushback on this, but there's people earning millions that will agree with me and not just earning a few grand here or there. You that nothing's free. The time it takes you to do or if you're in your business and you're doing everything for free and organically, write down the time it's taking you and then write down how many months it's taking you to grow everything. I mean, if I said to you, right, I could get you 500,000 followers in 12 months, it's going to cost you this, or it'll take you 10 years. I mean, it's quite a bit of an exaggeration, but what you're going to do, and if you pay me this, I'll do it for you, and it'll generate this. Me personally, I'm going to pay to have someone do it as long as they're not bought followers. I'm going to pay someone to do it because I'm going to get there faster, and I know how much money you can generate when you've got a following of correct people that are into your industry and your sector. It's very important, and then you make the strategy to suit that. Okay, so on what I've just said, one of the reasons that, again, this is a bit of a caveat at the end because although you've got your audience, say you've grown your audience, you've got your market correct, your message right, your media's right, people's engaging with you. Now it's like, well, that's great, Billy, but now how do we make money out of that? Well, this is how, and this is what people don't realize. So this is what I call the customer buying triangle, right? Now, the top part there, only about 3% of your market are really interested or need your product and service now. Okay, like if you was in a stadium and there's 100,000 people in there, and you put their hands up and said, "Who needs tires on their car right now?" A third of them will probably put their hand up. And if you said, "Who needs new trainers now?" Probably they'd put their hands down, and the other third would put their hand up. And as you kept going through it, it'd roughly be around thirds, if you like, or thirds, or sorry, not thirds, 3%. Correct myself on that. Then you got next down is 67% are open to it. Now, what that means is they're not completely shut off. They're open to the conversation. So their message to these people has got to be different to these. So this could be direct sales. Okay. This, they need warming up. They're open to it. They don't know who you are, though. Okay. 30% are not thinking about your product. So they need speaking to differently. 30% don't think they're interested, and 30% know they're not interested. So all of these need speaking to in a different way. And the way to do it is how I've always positioned our campaigns, and that's with like informational marketing. There's a few different sales funnels you can use or strategies to do this. You've got my harvesting funnel, you've got the fly trap. I always go on about the Venus flytrap, all that stuff, by the way. If you like what you're hearing, you can get it all in this book at the bottom. Just go there, www.fixyoursocialmedia.co.uk. Just cover the shipping on it. Everything's in there. It's a load of free videos and trainings and stuff. Just go to the page and you'll see if you read that. So I digress. Sorry. So you need to just go back and talk to these people in a different way. That's it. That's all you need to do. Okay, and the way that I do it, this plan works. So I've sort of shortened it just for the video, but you know, if you need to be showing people that you're an expert, and you need to get them to trust you, and then you need them to know that actually you can, with those two elements ticked off, that you can actually fix their problem, because there's a few things that they're weighing up. First of all, do I want to give up my time to watch whatever it is or take interest in what this person's doing? Secondly, do I trust them? And are they going to fix what I'm doing? And how much does it cost? Now, to do that, you can't do all that in one video. So you need to do like educational, I call it info or educational video series. And I've just put 3 videos here, but you can do 2, 3, 5. You know, if you're a lawyer and you're talking about different things for, let's just say, inheritance tax and stuff like that, like it's a very, very complex conversation. So you need to break it down into a video series, and then you can get people that are listening to it, and you're explaining it in a way that they understand, not in like just lawful conversation. So not people like me, that's an idiot, could actually understand what it is you're saying. You do that in the video, and I'll be like, do you know what? I'm going to book a call with him. You know, but again, inheritance tax or in when someone dies, obviously not everybody needs that at the minute. So you could do that. Then you could do it on divorce. You could do it on child, anything that, if you was a lawyer that you needed to explain, you could do in a video series, and then always have a call to action. Anyone that's been watching these videos on these subjects, you can put them on your YouTube channel as well, and then you can retarget them to generate a call. So like what we call a call funnel, very, very standard thing to do, a call funnel. And that's basically how I use, or how we use social media or any platforms, or these different mediums. You know, and I would explain this, like when I go through these magazines, this is how I get a lot of customers. I look at their adverts, and I'm going to go and ask them, do you know how many people converted from that advert? You know, most times they're going to say no. So they'll be getting an email today and then a call. So this is the fly trap, by the way. So just just finishing up. I've been just over half an hour there, so I do apologise if I have bored you with that. But there are some great points in there. There are some things that you can take away. Just on the front end, you just want to be a little bit more, do a little bit more research in your market, and then you'll get your paid advertising working. Okay, the technical side's not so hard. Anyone can learn that, but it's these systems or the checklists that I use to go through, that I would use. Now, if you do want to have a conversation with me, please just contact me directly on WhatsApp. You can book a free call. Just text me. I can have a conversation with you. If you want to get on the phone, I can get on the phone. Not a problem. 0791 07917 080 507. Alternatively, if you're not interested in that and you want to find out a little bit more, obviously go to Real Deal Marketing, the Facebook page, the Instagram. And if you want a copy of my book here, which is free, on how to use social media to get customers in 2024, just go to that website, www.fixyoursocialmedia.co.uk, and you can go and grab a copy of that. There's a load of free video trainings. If you purchase the book, my course is in there on how to implement all the stuff that I do myself on a daily basis, and some of the team does. and you can grab one of those there. You just have to cover the shipping. Um, Alternatively, like I say, just send me a WhatsApp message, and hopefully you've taken something from that. And that is enough from me today. I will see you next week or in a couple of days.